I'll come over by you, so you can come over here, yeah? Well, maybe we should have it up there by the screen.
Can you turn this part
Yeah.
on?
It's not, oh, yeah, hang on. Let's see. There we go. Is it small enough? You need to minimize a little bit? You got it. Okay, let's come up here and look. With me. Let's go up front and work. Up here, we're going to look up on the screen up here. And, okay. So I don't think it's seen very well, but go ahead.
Okay, so we measured our 2 cups, and our first cup, which was the red cup, we got 4.75 inches.
So you're talking in terms of inches?
Yes.
4 7/5 inches.
Right.
Okay?
And then we measured the white lip on our glass because we figured that that's where it stacks every time it rests on that lip. The lip is only 1/8 of an inch, which is 0.125 inches as a decimal. So for every one that you stack, which is our X, it goes up by 0.125.
So this always remains there? That never goes away? That the 4 7/5 is always there? It never goes away? When you stack a cup on top of a cup, do we still always have our
Yeah.
4 7/5 inches there?
Yeah, because that's what you started with.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
But what if you don't have a
and
cup?
so now if we add another cup onto it, what changes?
It just changes by 0.125.
By 125.
Right.
So if I don't stack a cup, I put 0 in here and I don't stack any cups on top,
You still have 4.75 because you still have that height for your one lone cup.
for my one lone cup, I have 4.75.
Oh, so you're only counting the cups you add to it?
So now we're going to add cup number
Cup number 1,
as is added on,
right?
okay?
So this is your 0 cup, is that what you're going by?
Is that,
Yeah.
are you calling that your
Yeah.
0 cup then? Okay, so she's calling that her 0 cup, that's what I'm trying to get at, your steps. Right now you have a 0 step
Yeah.
of 4.75.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
My white cup, which would be my 0 cup, is 3.5.
Are
And
we all
it
listening?
goes up by 1/2 an inch every time. That's what we measured the lip to be. So again, my X is going to be for every one that it goes up, we add a 0.5.
Okay.
Each of my equations are set equal to 0. So I'm going to use the idea of systems of equations to solve. So I set them equal because I want them to be equal in height. I guess I didn't substitute this back in the second actually.
What are you saying?
Doing great.
Keep going.
So anyway, since they're both set equal to y, we can set them equal to each other using substitution. I subtract my 3.5 from both sides. I then subtract 0.125 x from both sides. Sorry, those should be x's right there. And I'm left with 1.25 equals 0.375x. And I have to divide by that 0.375. So to do that, we multiply both of them by 1,000 to get whole numbers so that I can divide them, and we got x to equal 4.
And so what does that X tell us? What is that X?
That should tell us how many cups it takes to give us up here to get us the same answer, since they're supposed to be equal. They're both going to equal y.
So let's put 4 in this side.
I knew you were going to ask me to do that.
Because that's what you were solving for. You're telling me you were
I know.
solving for X, right?
Hold on.
Okay.
So,
Down a little bit.
I know. So I have 4.75 plus 0.125 times 4 equals y.
Okay.
So my 4.75 stays. This becomes 4 and 5 is 20, 10, 4, 5, so it becomes 0.5 equals y, which will give me 5.25.
Okay, so what is this telling you?
That's how tall my red cups are gonna be,
Okay,
right?
5¼ inches.
Yeah.
Inches, we gotta keep that in mind here, inches, okay? So now how tall is your white cup? How tall is your white cup?
3.5 plus 0.5 times 4 equals y. This isn't gonna work.
So tell me how high,
Nope.
how many cups? Let's keep going, you're doing fine.
3.5 plus, and this would be 2.0 equals y, which then leaves me with 5.5.
So what has this told you?
I can tell you how many red cups I'm gonna need, because in order to go from 0.25 to 0.5, I need to figure out how many cups I need to add to that, which would be 2 cups, wouldn't it? So instead of being 4 cups, it should be 6 red to 4 white.
And why do you think that?
Well, because I just proved myself wrong with my equation.
But this is where we wanna go, right?
Yeah,
We wanna
so-
get those what did you solve by finding y? That's the whole point. Everybody solves for y, or solves for y or x, but they don't know why. And kids do that all the time.
So I solved for how many cups I thought it was going to take, but after I substituted it back in, I realized that it actually doesn't equal the same thing. So I need to figure out the distance, or the difference. So if I take 5.5 minus 5.25, I get 0.25. And in order to make up for that
So it's
0.25, yep, in order to make up for that 0.25 in the red that I'm missing, I have how many extra cups at 0.125? I would have 2.
Your 0.125 is the lip of your red cup. So I need 2 more lips of my red cup to get to
Actually says a lip.
5.5. So
Right.
you have 6 red cups and 4 white cups. Does anybody agree with 6 and 4? You guys agree or disagree?
Whatever, you guys disagreed. You said 5 and 4.
Yeah, we do disagree.
I think it comes down like the way we measure the lip of our.
Right.
How you
I think
measured
it's what
your
Right.
it is.
lips.
It doesn't match ours, but I could believe it.
Right.
Okay, so she defended her answer. So we're gonna
Very
leave it at
well.
that. You defended your answer. So let's have you guys come up next and share yours.
Beat that, Maxie Max.
Max, are you,
No, go ahead, Chelsea, you got it.
Yeah.
By the way,
Okay.
you're
Feel
pretty
pressure.
salt, Chelsea. Sorry.
Feel free to add in team whenever you see
okay.
something. Okay.
And you used inches as well.
We did use inches, yep. So we measured our red cup and we thought that it was about 4.75 inches, or 4 3/4 inches.
And did you agree with the same height?
I think that was yours. Yep.
4 and
Yep.
white cup, you
2500s.
agreed?
Yes.
You agreed?
Yep, and then
Okay.
white cup was 3.5.
Okay.
We measured our add-on to be 1/4 of an inch, but it's probably, I don't know.
The add-on for which, the white?
The-
We thought it would only go down to this.
Yeah, we
red
thought it would be
lip.
that line above the white.
So let's sit our red cup on a red cup and
Give
see
me a
where
red
it
cup.
sits. That will solve our problem for that one.
Well, would you?
It goes,
Where does
it
it
does
sit?
rest on the red indentation
Yes!
above the white lip.
Okay, so that could be the variance. Okay, keeping the variance in mind, you're okay. You're
Yeah.
okay
Well,
because
because it's from where you
you
measure.
didn't have 2 cups
Right.
to know that would happen, but that was their assumption. Now, based on your assumption that you made that it was gonna rest on that, you gave it what size?
We gave it 1/4 of an inch.
You gave it a 1/4 of an inch, okay?
Yep.
Keep on going.
Okay, we gave our white cup a 1/2 inch.
And they had said a 1/2 inch as well.
Yep, so we're pretty much the same there. We created our equation down, I don't know if you can see it, probably about right there, right here.
And everybody was creating these equations?
Yep.
And for what purpose?
To graph so we can figure out where they're equivalent,
Ah,
where they
they're-
intersect.
Where they intersect or where they're the same
Yep.
Where they intersect, is where they intersect, where they're the same height?
No.
No.
That's a good question to ask.
Right.
If we're finding the intersection, what does that tell you?
Because that's what.
That's where.
It
Where the
could
height-
be
Same Y
if it fell on
Same Y
number
value, but is
one.
that when the cups are the same height? Did she say they were the same, by the time it was done, the same Y value, did that show that they were the same height? What did she end up having to do? She ended up having to add,
Add one.
She
Add
started
two
with
cups
the
on.
zero cup.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
aren't
see,
starting.
we started with zero.
cup, and you're starting with,
One,
cup.
that's why our equation looks different than
Okay.
theirs, because we started with 4.5,
Yep.
because we're only adding that quarter of an inch,
Every time we pour.
so,
so
If I
the
put one in-
equation is different, because you're step one, not step
Zero.
zero. That's why I
Right.
wanted to get it, the connections, that was step zero, that's why I pushed that, because you guys are a step one, different equation now, okay, go.
Okay, so then we have our formula, like a fourth x plus 4.5, and then we have half x plus 3 whole, and then we did like a systems of equations. We equaled them together. We figured out that, we figured it out by using our table that they would have the same height when we had 4 red cups and 5 white cups at 5.5 inches.
Now, where did you find that in your equation? That's what I'd like to find out, is where did you
that
find
we
that
didn't
in
go
your?
that
We
far.
didn't get that far.
What did you find in, okay, so let's go back to your table, let's use your table then.
Yep.
You said in your table, how do you said the height, is this the height?
yes.
Yep.
Yep,
And this
that's
is
the
the
one.
step, the
Yep.
number of cups.
Yep.
So at 4 cups, they are,
5.5 inches.
and at 5 cups,
5.5 inches.
5.5 inches. So you think it's 4 and 5, based
Yep.
on the fact where your lip was. Is that close to their outcome, even though they used a different equation with a 0 step?
It's close, yeah.
Very-
Very close, very similar, and because you used a different assumption on where the lip was,
Mhm.
I would say you two had the same thinking when you worked at, using step 1. What's the standard way to solve problems? Do you use a step 0 or you start with a step 1?
Depends on what you're using. I mean, to me, step 0 means there's 0 cups, so.
Right, so the standard way would really
I mean,
be to
it's
do
all-
a step 1 with it, but they made it work with their step 0.
Yep.
So it's okay, and you defended it, so that's what makes the difference. Thank you guys for defending yours. Now, we're gonna go to the last table, and if you bring yours up and share it. And you guys didn't use inches, so now we have to see what happened when we don't use inches. We have to change our thinking. Okay,
Okay. So we use centimeters, and the white cup started at 9 centimeters, and the red one started at 12. And then I measured the white lip of the cup, and that was about 1.2 centimeters. And then we measured to the indentation above the white lip, which was about 0.5 centimeters. So then started making a table for where they intersect, and we found that at 6 white and 7 red, that's where we think they'll intersect. And then,
so this is one justification that they proved, it was 6 cups and 7 cups.
oh, and
Did
then
everybody agree with everything they've done so far?
they also intersect at 11 and 19, assuming ours are correct. Fun fact. I got bored.
So let's see your equations.
Can I zoom out? Okay. So equations for the white cup, we got 1.2x plus 7.8.
But you said
'Cause-
9 here.
Right. So we used our constant rate of change and subtracted it to get back to our 0 step, even though 0 cups would technically be 0 at centimeters. We're pretending.
But it's step 1,
Right. So when we put 1 in for x, we get 9.
you get 9, and that's what you want.
Right.
That's what you want, okay?
That's what we wanted. And then
step 1,
when we would put 1 in for x here, we would get 12.
12, okay. So then what did you do with those 2 equations?
I need to zoom out here. With those 2 equations, I graphed them.
7 of them equal to one another?
Nope, I just graphed them.
Just graph them, okay.
And I know you probably shouldn't connect them, but I wanted to see the intersection and not have to put a bunch of dots, so I drew lines. So I
And
did.
that's okay when you're trying to find that.
Yeah. So here is my line for my white cup, and it gets bigger faster, obviously. And here's my line for my red cups. And then at 15, they both are at the same, they both have a point at the height of 15. One is at 6 and one is at 7. And then I saw that they were the same height a little further down. And so I kind of wanted, because I wanted to see where it would be, I guess. So then I just continued my table out of boredom, really. And they, I mean, it is.
Okay.
And red cup would be 19 cups and 11 white cups. They'd also even out again, assuming our measurements are right.
Assuming your measurements is correct. So now, did they justify, did she justify hers with the graph and the table? But she said 6 and 7. 6
6 white,
white and 7 red.
7 red, or 11 white and 20 or
And
19
we're going
red.
to stick with the 6 and 7 for the comparison with these guys. So 6 and 7, you guys said 4 and 6.
4 and 6.
And you guys said 4 and 5. Let's watch a video and see if that gives us any answers. And remember, it's based on your measurements. Because do you think you guys were very close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think based on your measurements, you were all very close. And it is based on how you measure. So let's go back here to the video. And if you were to do this with your kids, you could actually show them the measurements for each one of those. But to make a more challenging task, why would you give them those measurements? The whole part of the task is knowing how to measure and how to figure out the lip and everything. So I took that step out just because I wanted it to be a little more challenging for you guys. Then we'll watch the video here. Seven and 7. So depending on your measurement, they actually have the same number of cups in there, 7 and 7. So now I'm going to come out again. So now let's, okay.
The gap is a little bigger on that.
But all that told us was, what's the height of the cups? What's the height of the cups was 7 and 7, right? When there's, what did it say? What's the height of the cups when they're even?
Oh, so it doesn't say
So
how
let's
many
now
cups.
count the cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they were even. And then let's go back now to their measurements. Again, it was assumed based on their measurements. So their measurements were 9.2 for their cup. What did we have for our white styrofoam cup?
1 cup, 3.5.
See, they had the big
using
taller,
centimeters.
they're centimeters.
We had 9
9.2 centimeters, and you said 9 centimeters. So it all depends on that. And they had 1.3 centimeters for the lip,
We had 1.2.
and you had 1.2. So you were very close with that 7 and 6, weren't you?
7, 7.
And then the other one, they had 12.1 centimeters. You had 12. They had 8/10 of a centimeter. You had 5/10 of a centimeter. And it's all in the measurement. So based on your measurements, I think you all justified how you, is there one right answer when it comes to something like this? This is the neat thing, is because we can do problems that have more than one right answer, as long as it's justified, and defensible, and you all justified and defined your problem. Now, these are the Dan Meyer videos. He has all kinds of videos out there. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Thanks, guys, for sharing.